BBC Newcastle, radio for the North East. Hello, you. 9 minutes past 11. Have you, or rather how have you, overcome adversity in your life? Because everyone has it. In hard times, what's been your lifeline, I wonder? For my next guest, it was a challenge that would take him halfway round the world on a bicycle. Hendrik van der Mescht, originally from South Africa, served as a Coldstream Guard from 2003 to 2008. You know, they're the ones that protect the Queen. He served in Iraq 2005, then in 2006 was back in London serving as a guard for the Queen at Buckingham Palace, the Tower of London, Windsor Castle and St James Palace. Then in 2010, just 3 months after he got married, he started showing signs of post-traumatic stress disorder because of all the things he'd been through. As cycling helped him so much in his recovery, Hendrik now wants to help other sufferers by cycling from Buckingham Palace to Cape Town. I met him here yesterday. He'd biked up from Sunderland as part of his training, and I asked him how it all started.
Start getting nightmares, flashbacks, I couldn't sleep. The more I wanted to cope with it, and thought I can deal with it, the worse it got. As I said, I ended up drinking behind my wife's back. I couldn't talk to people at that moment. I thought I didn't have the confidence. I thought everybody's against me, even my parents. So alcohol at that time was giving me confidence to talk to people. So as I said, I ended up on drugs. I tried suicide. And so finally, after 11 months of marriage, my marriage life fall apart. I finally ended up in Springfield Hospital. Then when I found out my wife wanted to get divorced, things got worse. But long story short, I got out of the hospital. When I got out of hospital, I was still drinking a lot. But one day I was throwing blood up. And I decided that day that I don't want to suicide or anything anymore. I want to go out and help other people that struggle with the same illness. So I came up with the idea that I want to cycle London to Cape Town, South Africa, to raise money for soldiers end up with post-traumatic stress or struggle.
What was it exactly that sparked your PTSD? Were there things that you saw and you went through?
Yeah, it's just basically the things that happen out there, I can't say, it started some stuff that I also saw and that, when it started, because I used to be in a South African army also as well, and in a British army, so I've got, I would say, 16-year military experience. I thought at that moment, because as a soldier, you get trained to be tough, I thought I can deal with it, and I thought that at that specific moment, why should I told my wife about anything,
So you joined the South African Army in 97, I think, and you served with the Coldstream Guards from 2003. Aren't they the lot that protect the Queen?
Yeah. Yes.
Do you ever do that?
Yeah, I've done duties outside Buckingham Palace, and I've done
in the bearskin.
Yes.
How do you deal with that heat when it's hot and you're dressed up in the bearskin? How do you deal with that?
Well, for me, it was quite easy because as a South African, I came from a town called Oudtshoorn, and sometimes it can go to 52 degrees in Oudtshoorn in summertime. So for me, it's like I cannot handle cold weather. That's my problem. When it's Sutherland's already start getting cold for me. Last night I told my friend that it's really cold here.
Really?
And he said, what? It's not cold. So, with heat I can cope. So it won't be for me, really difficult to go next year to Egypt, Sudan,
You're going there next year?
Yeah, I'm going to cycle through the desert, next year.
Crikey O'Reilly, that is some feat. But when you're standing on guard at Buckingham Palace, how many breaks do you get? How long do you have to stand there?
Depends. I can remember, you only stand there for 2 hours. And after 2 hours, you get relief. So you can do basically twice a day. And if sometimes you can go on duty for 40-hour shift for 2 days there. And you do every day 4 hours.
What happens if you're in the middle of your stint and you're desperate for a wee?
Well, lucky it never happened with me because, you need to have self-discipline and know what time you're going on guard outside and don't drink a lot of fluids. So it's all about discipline.
Right. So, I mean, did you see, when you were in the South African forces, did you see much action there?
No, not at all. The South African Army don't deploy outside, South Africa. They just basically just static there. So, no, I've never.
And what brought you to England?
I just decided to quit the South African Army because of the situation that time in South Africa. And I thought that I'm going to do something else. Travel, explore a little bit of the world. So I decided to come to the UK first. And
where did you end up? In Iraq, you were?
Yeah, I've been in Iraq. I went in 2005 there, but I joined the British Army in 2003. So I've done my training in Catterick.
And what experiences did you have? What are you qualified to do in the forces?
Well, I've just been trained to be as a guardsman infantry soldier.
So you're front line?
Yes.
Okay. It's a dangerous job.
Yeah, it can be. When you're a soldier, you just need to deal with it at that specific moment,
So the post-traumatic stress disorder hit you in 2010. What did you have any warning signs? What symptoms did you get?
I just had flash nightmares and stuff like that, and that ended up in depression. I ended up fighting with my wife, that I never used to do.
And that's a difficult thing to deal with. So the nightmares started, and obviously things got worse. And then one day there was like a moment, and you just went no when you came out of hospital. That was it.
No, it went on. When I came out of hospital, it was not anymore about the army that have put me backwards. It was the fact that I got divorced at that moment.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
A few months after I came out of hospital, I started to cycling, and at that specific moment I could focus on something else, and it was like a new kind of world went open for me. And because of that, I decided that this is what I want to do. I want to help other soldiers out there, and because I've met a lot of people that struggle with post-traumatic stress disorder, and that gave me the confidence to do what I want to do.
Former Coldstream Guard Hendrik van der Mescht, who's cycling from Buckingham Palace to Cape Town next year. It's all about helping fellow former soldiers who struggled with PTSD. Find out exactly what the money will go towards after Nico and Vince.
Dear Sue, can you please help me as I proposed to my girlfriend last...
Been hearing the story of a former soldier who, after a battle with PTSD, now wants to help others. Hendrik van der Mescht, originally from South Africa, served as a Coldstream Guard from 2003 to 2008. He served in Iraq in 2005 and then in 2006 was back in London serving as a guard for the Queen at Buck House, the Tower of London, Windsor Castle, etc. Then in 2010, just 3 months after getting married, he's starting to show signs of post-traumatic stress disorder. As cycling helped him so much in his recovery, Hendrik now wants to help other sufferers by cycling from Buckingham Palace to Cape Town, which is an amazing feat. I met him here yesterday, and I asked him exactly what is he raising money for.
I was thinking about, when I raised this money and that, I was thinking about maybe like I could build something like a place where, at my specific time, what I would have liked, like a place to stay, where they can stay and get treatment, not just like go there, get counselling, go home. I would have been like to be like, for the specific time when you're sick, to be there like if you need to stay there for a month or what, to be in the environment where other people is that struggle with the same illness, because I believe that was not good for me to go get counsel, go home, and then when you're alone, and specifically during that time while my wife wasn't with me, that was no good, because you sit at home alone, and that is when big things happen that you don't, want to do.
How long had you been married?
Only 11 months.
Okay. The post-traumatic stress disorder started in 2010. Are you over it now, can you say?
Yeah, I'm over it, because I've got other things also to focus on. I've got this big challenge coming up next year, and I've got a lot of people support me, what I want to do.
Do you think people understand just how tough it is to acclimatised for a soldier when they return home?
No, I don't think so. I think it's easy, like when you see a soldier have lost a limb or something, arm, leg, it's easy to see that. But when it comes to mental something, it's not easy, because how can you see that? I mean, people think you're okay, but you're not. Yeah. So it's really difficult to see that.
It all comes down to the stigma that mental health has, and people don't like to admit and talk about it, do they?
Yeah. A lot of people don't want to talk about it. You just want to move on, and you just started suddenly. I never thought it's going to happen. Like the doctor also said to me, that it's not a specific time it can happen. It can happen any time. You know, I've met people like and that used to struggle now with post-traumatic stress of the Falklands War. And how long back is that?
Are you now at peace with yourself?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I'm fine. Yeah, at this moment, as I said, I've got this positive thing to focus on. My main thing is to help these people, because, as I also said, like after my illness, when I came up with the idea, I just decided we're living in a world today that nobody reach out to each other anymore. Nobody care anymore. Living in London, when you greet people there, people don't say hello back. They like, why are you greeting me for? And I've just decided I don't want to have that mentality. I want to go out there and help people that struggle with the same illness.
Okay, so you're doing a lot of training, I'm guessing.
Oh yeah, I do a lot of training out. I mean, when I started this project, I used to be like probably 3.5 stone heavier than now. And not a lot of people gave me a chance. I was really overweight of that time from drugs, alcohol and that stuff. And but it's all about yourself. I went and worked hard.
So when are you starting? When are you starting from Buckingham Palace?
The plan is to start next year in July and cycle through 13 different countries. People have asked me how long will it take. I've worked some out on my own, I think a year, but it can take longer also, because you don't know what to expect on the road. It's going to be tough living, camping the whole time, like you can't, I think a year, but you can't exactly say how long will it take.
Will you be alone?
Oh yeah, definitely alone, whole time. I've had people have asked me, if people come forward and ask they want to cycle with me, will you say yes or no? So I said, I will definitely say yes, If people want to come forward and say they want to do this challenge with me, I won't say no. Okay.
So a year. And, I mean, obviously you've saved up for it, I guess. There has to be money involved somewhere.
Yeah, I've saved up a little bit, but you're still going to need financial support. There is people already, donate on my website. I spoke with Help for Heroes because I'm cycling. I'm registered for Help for Heroes. And, at the moment there is a link where people can sponsor on my website.
And how much are you hoping to raise?
A lot of people have asked me this. If I can raise £50,000, I'll be really happy, because why not? It's a big tour. Why not go big?
So you start from Buckingham Palace, and then what's the route?
Well, I will start Buckingham Palace and then over to France, down to Italy. And from Italy, I will get either a flight or a ferry over to Egypt. And from Egypt, it's all...
You can't cycle there, then?
Overseas, no.
Oh, no. Okay, hello! Me and my geography, yeah, go on.
Yeah, Egypt, Sudan, Ethiopia, Kenya, Tanzania, Malawi, Zambia, Botswana, Namibia, South Africa.
At least I'm honest in my naivety. Former Coldstream guard Hendrik van der Mescht, who's cycling from Buckhouse to Cape Town next year. It's all about helping fellow former soldiers who struggle with post-traumatic stress disorder.